2/22/22. Like, I didn't even realize that today was gonna be 2/22/22 or 2/22/22 or 2/22/2022. But it's a blessing to be here on tonight. I hope that you guys can hear me. I decided to put some like peaceful music in the background. This doesn't have, hopefully I won't get copyrighted for this or anything like that, because this doesn't have any lyrics or words in it, so it shouldn't be it shouldn't be a problem. But once you guys enter the live stream, just let me know that you're on so I can know who's on with me. So I'm going to be interpreting one person's dream. And also, before I even get started on that, um, I want to mention that I just today, one of my dreams that I recently had just came to pass. And normally, a lot of my dreams do come to pass. But not so long ago, I had a dream about a YouTuber, and this was this month. It was February 11th or February 12th. And once I saw the that she posted this video, I went looking for the notes and was like, "Oh my God, I had this dream. Did I write it down?" And I did. I wrote it down. I did notice that I wrote it down. I was able to find it, but it took a while for me to find it. Um, and it's not like a personal dream or anything like that or anything crazy. Um, but in the dream, it was like I was with this YouTuber and her husband, and she was saying that she was going to quit YouTube. And she kind of talked about this a little bit before in the past, but I wasn't thinking about her. I wasn't binge watching her videos or anything like that. So I know that it wasn't from me, but I was just trying to figure out like why was I having this dream? Like I was like maybe she is going to. Marley, hi. Good to see you on the live stream. Yeah, so I was thinking like maybe she really is going to quit YouTube soon. And yeah, she was just saying I was walking with her and her husband, and she was like, I'm going to quit YouTube. And I was like, I'm going to miss you or whatever. I was like, I'm going to miss you, but I know that you have to do what you have to do. And in the dream, both her husband and her are YouTubers, but she started out doing YouTube way before him, and they have different channels together. And he has his own, her husband has his own personal YouTube channel, and then they have two YouTube channels together, and she has her own personal one. But she had in the dream she had was quitting YouTube, and it just felt like he was going to keep doing YouTube. And we started walking up the stairs together, and then it ended. And that was February 11th or February 12th of this year. And today is the 22nd, and she just announced today that she was quitting YouTube. But she quit YouTube. Basically, people didn't realize that she had quit YouTube, and she decided to come back. So while she had quit YouTube for those 2 years that she was off, she was still doing videos, or still is doing videos on her other channels. But she said that she's coming back or whatever. But she just posted videos today explaining why she left YouTube or why she had quit YouTube. So like that had just like blew my mind. It was just like crazy. Like when I do see stuff come to pass that God shows me, it do like really blow my mind. So have any of you guys had any dreams that's like similar to that? You had a dream about somebody, and then it's like finally coming to pass. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started on this dream. So someone sent me in a dream, and I'm just gonna read it for you guys and interpret it, and then I'll let you guys comment if you want to share any of your dreams that you want interpreted or anything like that. So yeah, um, in the dream, my friend from high school wanted me to babysit for her. Hey, I'm actually reading your dream right now. Okay, in the dream, my friend from high school wanted me to babysit for her. I ended up showing up on the wrong day. I told her I can stay or leave, whatever she wanted. I ended up staying, but at some point in the dream, I left the baby alone at the house unattended. Later, my friend questioned me about it and asked me if I was with her baby the whole time. I said yes, but she had my location on my phone, so she knew I was lying and wasn't with the baby. So let me guys know if you guys heard me, like if you guys can hear me like good. If I should adjust anything in the background. Is the background too loud? And can you hear me properly? Okay, good that you guys can hear me. I'm gonna come back to all the questions about dreams. Okay, so yeah. So this dream, okay, good. So basically, this dream is about watching. It's overall about watching a baby. Someone or Asia was watching a baby, and she was babysitting for a friend. But like things didn't go like right or as planned. The first thing that happened that wasn't good was that she came the wrong day. So I don't know if she showed up a day early or a day late, but she came the wrong day. And then she ended up leaving the baby. And oh, she also made a note to me that this dream was so odd to me because it it's not in my character to leave a baby unattended. So in real life, she would never do something like this. So she's so puzzled as to why she would even have a dream like this because she would never do this to like a real baby. But babies, a lot of times they are symbolic. They don't a lot of times they don't actually represent an actual baby. Sometimes babies in dreams really represent babies, but sometimes majority of the times they're symbolic and they represent things. So a baby can represent a business, it can represent a ministry, it can even like sometimes, yes, never laugh out loud. I felt very guilty in the dream. Okay, I had dreams where I felt like that too. But yeah, it can represent a business, a ministry. Um, it can even represent your significant other if you call them baby. And I would never say this part right here, but if you keep on seeing something that says like the baby, it can even represent like the baby, the rapper, or whatever. Depending on the context of the dream. But in this dream, I believe that this was something from God that God gave you, and I'm just gonna go off of what I noticed first. So the friend was testing you the whole time. So she was testing you to see if you would tell the truth. That's where that's when she asked you about if you were she asked you if you were like watching the baby the whole time and you weren't, but you said yes, you insisted yes you did. Of course no one would really, most people, well, you wouldn't really want to say yes that you wasn't there with the baby. But yeah, the basically the friend was testing you to see if you would tell the truth. She trusted you with her baby and you broke that trust. But now I'm about to go into the interpretation. So basically the friend will represent God or Jesus. We know that a lot of times you might hear the phrase that Jesus is a friend of ours, or I am a friend of Jesus or God. But God wants you to be more alert with what he entrusted you with. So God has entrusted you with something. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but he entrusted you with something and he wants you to be more alert about it. He wants you to become more equipped with it. And he wants you to cater and nurture and care for this thing that he has given you, and to do it wholeheartedly. So not just do it to do it, or to just be like, hey, I'm just gonna do it, but to do it wholeheartedly. So do it with your heart, do it because you want to, do it because you desire to, and just do it lovingly. So wholeheartedly do this what God has for you. And don't just do a little and stop and go about your business. Keep striving because he's watching behind the scenes. So don't just with this thing that God has given you, but make sure you put a lot into it. And yeah, put a lot into it. And just know that God's watching you. So God's testing you with this thing that he's giving you. And he's watching you just like your friend was watching you with the phone, and she knew your location. She didn't have to tell you, and it wasn't like blatant. It was like right there in your face. Like she was like she had cameras in the house or something. You didn't mention any cameras, or she, said that she saw you, but she has your location. So that's like watching behind the scenes. So God, he's watching you behind the scenes, and he's testing you with this in this season concerning this. And God wants to trust you. So in the dream, your friend, well, it didn't say that your friend didn't trust you, but that's kind of like breaking trust, because in real life, if someone had trusted you with their like real life baby and you left the baby, of course that's going to break someone's trust if they love their baby. And whatever God gives us, of course he loves it. He loves us, and he wants to trust you. So whatever this thing is that God has given you, make sure you take care of it, make sure you nurture it, make sure you pay attention to it, and all of those things. And you can rewatch the replay if you missed anything, or you want to ever go back to it. So yeah, thank you for sending in your dream. And now I'm about to check to see if there's any dreams in the comments. It says, I've had some dreams that came to pass. I tried to interpret them when I had them, but God was saying it was literally what I saw, what I was seeing in the dream. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, that has happened to me sometimes too. That's like considered a vision. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, you do have one. Asia said thank you. You're welcome. Oh, okay, let me see what else she said. That resonates with me for sure. I need to pray about exactly what it is. I feel like it could be a few things. Okay, yeah, definitely pray about it. Sometimes when you first have a dream, or it's something like this, even like what I just did, interpret your dream for you. Sometimes you might not know exactly what it is. Sometimes when God shows me dreams personally for myself, I don't always know exactly what it is as soon as I wake up or I receive the interpretation. But yes, definitely pray about it, and God will show you over time. You'll understand exactly what it is. Okay, and Marley says that she has one, so if you can write it in the comments. And don't forget, you guys, that you can always send your dreams to the email. I just created a new email not too long ago for this channel. It's called Davina's Faith Connect at yahoo.com. So my first name or the name of the channel without an apostrophe, Davina's Faith, just without the apostrophe, and Connect, CONNECT at yahoo.com. It says, I keep having dreams about being on the red carpet or interacting with celebrities. There were two celebrities in my kitchen, one a singer and a basketball player. And I was telling one of them to repeat after me, and and I was declaring and praying over them, almost like I was delivering them. So that's really good. So you was telling them to repeat after you. So it's almost like you were helping them to accept Jesus Christ in their life, because, well, a lot of times, saying the sinner's prayer or giving your life to Christ, a lot of times people will lead you into that, and they'll recite it for you, and then they'll say it to you, whoever the person is or whoever the leader is, and then you'll repeat after them. So that's what that reminded me of. Like, you're helping to bring different people, celebrities, and people of like that sort, people that might not be like, what people would see as the typical Christian, or they might not, they might see they might not be saved at all, and people might not see them as that type of person either way. And you're helping to bring them closer to God, or to bring them to Christ completely. And yeah, that's what I see. So that's really good. You're helping to bring people to Christ, people that really need, re- sorry, will really need God in their life. And yes, it may actually be celebrities. Seeing celebrities is a sign that you may become famous in future. That's true. You may be. But yes, definitely people that's in the spotlight and of significance, and people that may be far away from God. You're helping to bring them in. Does anybody else have a question or a dream that they need interpreted? And Marley, you should definitely keep praying concerning that too, so God can lead you in that. So true, because one celebrity was talking about God to me, and I was shocked because they gave me a different view about celebrities. Yep, celebrities have hearts too. They have a soul too, man. Can't just look at all celebrities as like, oh, they're just doomed for it. That's not true. What does it mean to dream of trying to be fed meat but don't eat meat in real life? So if you're a Christian, then we know that meat can represent the meat of the word, or like the bigger things of the word WORD, and the word is the Bible. So like when you're becoming like more advanced in the word or in your walk with Christ, that's considered the meat, and you do want to eat the meat. So that's really good that you had that dream. So you might be like a vegan or vegetarian in real life, or pescatarian, but to eat the meat is to eat of the meat of the word. So to become more advanced. Um, the milk is considered basically like baby, like you're a baby in Christ. Um, what? Let me see. Saw dead father, and he said he signed the appraisal already. So what else happened in the dream? Um, I had a dream in which I saw myself. Um, Hold on. I had a dream in which I saw myself in an old house trying to use the toilet. It was very clean. I went there to defecate, but I did feel the pressure. But I did feel the pressure to do so, or I didn't feel the pressure to do so. I know it was related to deliverance. So I'm not sure if you meant to say you did feel the pressure to do so, like you tried to poop, but you didn't. You did feel the pressure. You could feel the pressure to poop, or you didn't feel the pressure to poop. I'm not sure by the way that you said it. Um, but yes, normally when you use the toilet, that does represent deliverance. And the bathroom was clean. That's pretty good. You don't want to use a dirty bathroom, but it was an old house. So that means that there's some things in the past that you have to deal with. So it could be like some offense that happened to you in the past, and it still has a hold on you, or it might even just be in the back of like, it might not be like in the front of your head, like it might not be like what you think about like in your everyday life, but it still like has a part of you, and you need to get rid of it. So yeah. And if you did feel the pressure to do so, that would be good. Um, there was also the dream I wrote in the comment section about a week ago about the bathroom stall. I didn't catch your last live. Do you remember? I kind of do remember talking about a dream about bathroom stall, but I don't remember um, in enough detail to talk about it. But you could always rewrite it in the comments. And I might have already talked about it. If I did, you could always check out. I know I did talk about bathroom stalls last time. Oh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I did talk about that last time. So you can check out the last live if you want. I just can't remember exactly what happened. Do you have interpretation for this dream? Oh, you didn't feel the pressure to poop. But so it means that it's like hard to do. It's hard to let go. So yeah, like I was saying, like being at the old house means that you're holding on to some old things, maybe some old offense. Maybe something happened to you in the past and it really hurt you or something like that. And since it's not coming out while you're on the toilet, that means that it's hard to let go. Um, he appeared as the appraisal man, but can you tell me the full entire, um, if you can, tell me the full dream, because that's gonna help me. So you saw your dead father, and he's passed away, and he said um, the appraisal that he signed the appraisal already, and he came in the form of an appraisal, the appraisal God. I mean, sorry, not God. The appraisal man, the God that does appraisals. Um, so appraisals, that's when you like to see how much something is worth, right? Like say you had a ring and you went to get it appraised. I think that's what appraisal means, right? Like you check to see how much something is worth, I believe. And I can't look at the internet. Anything, I don't have anything to look at the internet. Only have my notebook, so I can't look it up. But I think that's what appraisals are. Let me know in the comments if I'm right about that. Tamisha Gardner, hi. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, Ebony. Let me see. Somebody talked about. Sometimes everything isn't demonic though. I know with different cultures, I know that I don't necessarily watch Kevin E. Wing, but I know certain cultures they believe in certain things. Like some cultures don't believe in eating in dreams at all, but eating, they talk about eating in the Bible, and eating. I know that what you're probably talking about isn't about eating, but I'm just using that as an example. Eating can represent um, intaking the things of God, depending on what it is. So you can eat something good or bad. Everything that you eat isn't bad. So everything may not be demonic. It just depends on the context of the dream. Um, but I was still trying to figure out that one thing. I didn't get enough. But of course, I can see where the person does think that it may be demonic because the father was dead. You do have to be careful with dead people in your dreams. But sometimes God would use somebody that's deceased to come. But it's very, like, it shouldn't happen all the time. It should be rare. So if I see somebody that's a family member and they're already passed away, normally they won't speak. They'll just be there. It's not demonic. The dreams that I have had, and it doesn't happen often. But if it's happening often and they're telling you to do stuff, then that could be demonic. But nobody answered me about the appraisal. So I'm just gonna have to assume that appraisals have to do with seeing how much something costs. Um, and I lost the dream. Oh Lord. Um, I'm gonna get back to that one. Okay. Okay, so somebody did say that somebody else said that. So I didn't even see this comment by Immaculate Pierre. I was just saying that every time you eat in dreams, it's not evil. Sometimes it can be bad. Okay, so what I was saying, that would be good that you were eating in a dream. Every time you eat something in a dream, it's not bad. And I know that the person, I'm not talking bad about anybody, but I know that one person on here on YouTube does believe that eating in dreams is just all around bad, but that's not true. I know sometimes because of different cultures, like African culture and even some Caribbean cultures, can believe that if you eat in dreams or something else, like if you see a tooth falling out or you eat in dreams, that it's just all around, it's just going to automatically be bad, but that's not true. Not all cases will it be bad. Some cultures believe that if you dreamed of having a tooth come out, that just automatically means that a family member or somebody is going to die. And then some people believe that if you see yourself eating in dreams, then you need to rebuke it because it's witchcraft. That's not true. That's not true. It's not true all the time. Like sometimes there are cases where that can mean something about witchcraft, or it could be something bad. You shouldn't be seeing yourself eating a lot of sweets in dreams. Of course, that means that you're taking things that are not good for you, not healthy for you. But if you see yourself eating the meat, like I said, meat, it represents the meat of the word, and you can look this up for yourself. Not Don't look up the dream version of it, but look in the Bible. So you could go to your Bible. If you have the Bible app, you could put meat, type in meat, and then you'll begin to see scriptures about what meat represents concerning the word, so you can see for yourself. In the good sense, meat, when you see yourself eating meat, that means um, the meat of the word, the Bible, growing to a new level, being more advanced. If you see milk, that represents being a baby in the Lord. Because I'll share with you guys one example that was witchcraft that I had, and this was years ago. I wasn't necessarily eating, but somebody was trying to throw something at my mouth. So this was years ago, and it came out to be that somebody was trying to do witchcraft on me, and she was. I'm not even gonna tell the person background or anything, but yeah. I had a dream that I was just in my house, and then somebody was knocking at my door, and they asked me. They said that they were looking for me, and then they threw flour and tried to throw it in my mouth. That was something that's a food item, and that was something that's was witchcraft. I knew once I woke up from the dream, and I told my mother the dream too. This before I got into dream interpretation, and I knew we both knew. My mother confirmed to me that that was witchcraft, and we had to pray really hard against that and things like that. I had removed myself from certain people and leave a job that I was working because the person was trying to do witchcraft on me. So that was one example of a dream concerning something like that that was witchcraft. But I had other dreams where it represented basically growing in God. So yes, it doesn't always have to represent witchcraft. Just want to clear that up. It's not bad to eat in dreams. Okay, let me get back to you guys' dreams. Okay, somebody said yes. That's what what appraisal is. Okay, so that could mean that there's something coming to pass. So you saw your father that's passed away. So your father doesn't if it's like a good dream from God, then he wouldn't represent himself. He represent God, your father, because God is our father. And you can go to the Bible and search up dreams about God being our father, and you'll see that God is our father. And so your father in that dream can represent that. I have had dreams where I saw my father too. My father has been dead since I've been 6 years old, and I'm now 31 years old. I've had dreams, not like I haven't had dreams like all like I had so many dreams, but just been few dreams over my lifetime that featured my dad, and I know that that represented God. It wasn't bad, it wasn't evil, it wasn't witchcraft. It represented God. And so I believe if this is from God, depending on the context of his dream, you didn't send me the full dream, so I can't tell you. But if it's from God, then of course your father represent God, and appraisal, somebody confirmed to me that it represent getting something looked at to see how much it would cost. Maybe you're getting a house appraised, or you're getting like something else that's like of significance appraised that's from your family line, maybe. And he said in the dream that the appraisal has already been done, so it's already done. Like it's already like I believe that if that's from God, that it's already done. It's already good. It's already in good standing. You're already going to be approved for everything. Maybe there's a house in your family that somebody wants to keep. I don't know what it is, but I believe like if he's saying that the appraisal is already done, then that will be good, and that you should just praise God in advance, because it's even a spin on the word appraisal, praise. I believe that you should praise God in advance. You're welcome. And let's get back to some other ones. Let's see. Let's see, the same person. My friend was trying to purchase the house. So it was a house, okay, and that was your friend. So yeah, the appraisal has already been made, so they already know how much it's going to be, and I believe that they're going to approve your friend for it. It's already done, and so praise God in advance. I don't believe that that dream right there is from the enemy. Let's see. What are some things about yourself that made you realize you're prophetic? So for me, when I was younger, I would always like, okay, I've noticed I started have like I noticed my dreams once I got to about 13. I noticed like some years before that, like little kid, that I was having dreams, but I didn't pay attention to them. But once I got to 13, my first year of high school, like my first week of high school, actually, I was like, wow, these dreams are really coming to pass. Like it's really like starting to transpire. Plus, when I was a kid, young kid, like before I got to my teenage years, I would always feel in church. So we grew up in church. My dad was a minister. He was actually, my mom said he was actually a pastor before he died. And my mom, she ended up being a pastor. And my older brother that passed away, he was a minister before he passed away. He wasn't perfect, you know. He was going in and out from being, you know, preaching and then being in the world, in and out. But he was overall a man of God. Just had his problems um, from the type of environment that we grew up in. And so yeah, I grew up in church, and one example is like I could always feel. So I would always feel people, my mother would be up just testifying, and I just felt in my spirit, and just I was just a little kid, like 6 7 8 years old, and just feel that people didn't like my mother, like they didn't want to hear my mother speak. I would just feel that. I just knew that that's what it was. It was just so odd that I knew that I knew that I knew. And yeah, so that's one example of how I knew that I was prophetic. So yeah, I realized my feelings that I had, and then also concerning my mother, and then also I could be walking down the street and know what somebody was going to do before they did it, things like that. So I would see stuff before it happened, or just feel that something was going to happen before it happened. And yeah, and then I would have dreams too. So that's how I knew that was prophetic. So I didn't always knew right away, like since I didn't know since I was like 6 years old. I wasn't prophet, well, I probably was, but I didn't know until I got a little bit older. So once I got a certain age, I started thinking that I was psychic because I was experiencing some of those things. Because I heard so many, even though I grew up in church, I heard so many people talking about psychics and seeing psychics on TV. And so I was like, oh my God, I think I'm psychic. Not thinking about psychics in a, like, I didn't think about psychics in a bad sense or anything like that. But just knew that psychics knew things, so I thought I was like one of those people. But then once I got older and more mature, in the spiritual, and start hearing more people talking about prophets and encountering prophets, I knew, like, and being prophesied to, then that's how I knew, like, it was confirmed that I was prophetic. But I kind of always knew since I was a young kid, that I had, like, always recognized those things that I had. And then it got confirmed once I got a little bit older. Um, let's see. Um, it was, let me see, Marley. I was talking about one of her dreams. It was a little different. I found a clean stall and went to use it, but when I tried to go, nothing came out. And I was like, that's weird. Okay, I do remember your dream. I did have to go, but I just pulled up my pants and left with the girl I was with, and we entered the elevator and went up to the ninth floor. Oh yeah, I talked about that in the last week's live. I interpreted there, so you can watch that live from last week. Um, Now, all the time, I understand what you're saying, and I know everybody's not going to agree with everything that everybody says, but not all the time that you see somebody that's considered deceased is a familiar spirit. Because the young lady, she saw her father. Her father just happens to be deceased in Wiccan life. Her father in the dream represented the Lord. But what if you are trying to feed pork? Okay, so you saw yourself eating pork. Okay, so we know that pork isn't necessarily good. Um, in the Bible, they talk about pigs and them having unclean spirits, where the demons was cast out, and the demons enter into the pig. So okay, that wouldn't be good. So I guess you're the same one that talked about eating the meat. But the scenario that I gave, that is true about eating meat, and it represented the meat of the word. But if you saw yourself eating pork, it was actually pork, then yeah, that wouldn't be good. You didn't mention that was pork, you just mentioned that was meat. Okay, yes, the person that had that dream, they will know and see what it is for themselves. And I don't claim to know every single thing in the world. I mean, in the world, like, I'm not saying that I know everything, but I do know that everything, it depends on the context. Everything is not just automatically going to be evil. For a bad meaning of eating, could it be the spirit of gluttony trying to make that person the host? Um, if you see yourself eating a lot, that would represent gluttony. So if you see yourself eating too much, that'd be gluttony, which is a sin. If you see yourself eating a lot of sweets, that'll be eating, like taking in things that's unhealthy, things that are not good for you, or you just wanted to have stuff sugar coated to you, just want people to tell you stuff that's not the truth, just to make you feel good. That could be what sweets could represent. Of course, she the same person just told me that it was actually pork and not just meat. So pork wouldn't be good because in the Bible, the spirits went to the pig after those demons was cast out from the person. They ended up going into the pig. But meat, besides pork, is overall good. It's good depending on the context of the dream. But I didn't know that it was pork. She didn't say that it was pork. She just mentioned that it was meat. Yeah, superstitions are not good and they're not from God. You're so welcome. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to talk about, or anything dream related? What do dreams that feel so real after waking up mean? So normally, if you woke up from having a dream that feels really real, it could be, it could mean that you need to pay attention to it. So it can mean that it's going to happen shortly, or it's. But overall, it definitely means that you need to pay attention to it. So once you wake up from a dream, you definitely want to pray. You definitely want to pray and then ask God what it is. Like, God, what is this? Or God, where you showing me? You definitely want to pray after you have a dream. But normally, if you wake up and you have a dream that feels real, then you definitely need to pay attention to it. I can't say if it's going to be good or bad because it depends on the context, but it definitely would mean that you would need to pay attention to it. You're welcome. How did you learn to interpret dreams, like things some people may not find in the Bible? Um, so I have a few videos talking about how I learned how to interpret dreams, but basically, if you said like things that are not in the Bible, so like maybe symbols that aren't like in the Bible, like phones or TVs, stuff like that. Um, I just think about just think about what they represent and what are like their capabilities. I think about stuff like that. And sometimes things just come to me, but like when I first started out, I would research a lot. So of course I would study the Bible, and then what else, everything that wasn't in the Bible, I just thought about what it was, like the capabilities of it, like what are the functions of this thing. And if I wasn't familiar with the thing, then I would just research it. And sometimes you don't get it right away. Um, Doing that either, but you have to familiarize yourself with certain things. So I would just, like, if it was something that I wasn't familiar with, like I said, I would just research it and see what it was about. And that's how I'm able to like understand things about stuff that's related to the Bible and things that are like in modern times as well. And I learned to interpret dreams from just having a desire to want to do so, because I was tired of me not understanding a lot of dreams that I had, and my family having dreams. And then there was a dream that happened um, that I feel like we could have, if one of us or all of us knew what dreams meant, or how to interpret dreams, that we we could have done something if we knew what that dream meant, what it was. And I just wanted to know. It was just interesting. I actually didn't know that it was possible to interpret dreams. I heard about free stories in the Bible, of course. But then once I desired it and I started studying more of the Bible on my by myself on my own, reading about Daniel and Joseph, and then praying. I took a dream interpretation course. I read books. It just starts to flow in me. Let's see. Um, for example, like washing dishes. Yeah, you definitely want to like think about. Okay, so washing dishes. So I'm gonna just break this down for you. You want to think about um, what it does. Like, so washing dishes. Dishes are something that you use to. It's like what you use to eat with. So you might use a plate to put your food on. Use a fork to eat, to break down your food and eat it. And then you're washing those things. So washing the dishes. So a dish might be dirty, and you're washing it to clean it. So say the dirty dish had maybe dirty food, like food from it, and it needs to be cleaned. So basically anything that has to do with washing, it more than likely would represent cleansing. So getting clean, getting free of something. um what does washing people in dreams represent? Like, I mean, you're not doing anything, just watching. It means that you're getting insight into their life. So if you could see them doing something, then you're probably getting insight into their life. Mirrors in dreams. So mirrors, it normally is a reflection, because when you look into a mirror, you see your reflection. So that's what dream a mirror a mirror will overall represent in the dream. It depends on the context to give you a full interpretation, but overall reflection. So that could be, it doesn't have to just mean like reflection, like, oh, I see you or I see me, but looking at the mirror in the mirror, looking at yourself and seeing, reflect on yourself, seeing the good in you, seeing the bad in you, what you need to fix in your life. um you're welcome. Yes, knowing dreams means so much. Did you ever get frustrated not understanding them? What's the best way to study the Bible for dreams to start? I watched many videos. So yeah, I definitely have been frustrated when learning about dreams, or just about dreams in general. Like sometimes I might still get a little bit frustrated with my own dreams, like some dreams that I be having, because I feel like since God knows that I'm becoming more advanced, like I can understand other people's dreams pretty clear for the most part, but sometimes I still get stumped on my dreams. It's like God's been, He might want to take. God just want me to keep on advancing, basically. So sometimes I still get a little bit frustrated. The music went off in the back, but sometimes I still get a little frustrated with my own dreams. And of course, when I first started, I did get really frustrated at times, and I definitely was frustrated before I learned dream interpretation. Um, what's the best ways to study the Bible for dreams to start? Um, so when I started to study the Bible, and I was like really like, as far as learning to interpret dreams, like when I first started to read the Bible for myself, I just started like thinking about different chapters and not chapters, books in the Bible. So I didn't just go look for scriptures. I just started, like, it just was on my spirit to, like, okay, I have this person in my spirit, and I would go read about that person. So I read the whole book or books about that person, or I have the book of Job on my spirit and read the whole book of Job. So and then of course, when I was learning, like I wanted to know more things about dreams, I read the first person I studied by myself was Joseph. Joseph was the first person in the Bible that was mentioned about dreams, like that was a dreamer, I believe. So I studied Joseph first, and Then I also look for different symbols. So I was trying to find symbols in the Bible. So I was just look for different books that mention different things concerning those things, and I read it, and I read the book of Daniel. I read yeah, I just read things that would mention dreams, and then I also read different scriptures that talked about symbols. So that's another thing. There's other things in the Bible that are not that can help you with understanding your dreams that are outside of what the Bible talks about dreams. There's also lots and lots of symbols in the Bible, so parables. So like the gospel, there's so many parables in the Bible, and that will help you too. That'll help you to be able to understand what different things mean. Like the parable with the 10 virgins and all those other parables. And then, you could look up whitewash. Whitewash may represent what we call paint today, because it was used to cover up things. So yeah, those are different. Those are different ways that I use the Bible to help me understand dreams. I feel like our generation of Christians are beginning to realize the importance of dreams and interpreting them biblically, because there is new age dream interpretation going on. There's like people outside of like that are doing dream interpretation outside of the biblical. Like, okay, you might go online and find some dream symbols, but they may not be biblical, because when I first started to try to understand dreams, I was doing the same thing. Like, I would go on Google and type, what does such and such mean in dreams? And then it was so many like non-biblical related dream symbols. And yeah, that wasn't good. And I learned from someone else when somebody, they weren't like that I was learning from before I got to this level, and she mentioned that it wasn't good to look at that type of stuff, because it might lead you astray. I get frustrated with mine too. I can't differentiate if the dream has a symbolic meaning I need to interpret, or if it's a vision. The only time I would know the difference is if it came to pass. Yeah, sometimes that will happen. Sometimes some things just have to happen in order for you to know it. But another way to, and this might not happen all the time, but this is one way that you can know too. If it happens like really quick, and then you might feel like a little shaken in your spirit. When you wake up, that can mean that it's a vision. At least for me, if I have that type of dream, like if it was something and it feels like it happened really fast, but I saw everything, and then I might feel a little nervous when I wake up or shaken, that normally is a vision. So that means that like what I saw is going to happen like very similar to what I saw in the dream. And normally dreams that are like symbolic, if it will be like long. At least for me, when I have dreams that are like symbolic and needs to be broken down, it'll be kind of long. But sometimes it will just have to come to pass. You're welcome. Okay, so it's almost an hour since I've been on. I'm just gonna stay on for about another 5 minutes, because I said I was just gonna stay on for an hour tonight. Hi, Davina. Hi. I saw an old work friend. I asked her where her husband was. Okay. The music just came right back on. I asked her where her husband was. She said she wasn't married. She introduced me to her daughter. Her son was not there for some reason. Is this in a dream, or you just saw? Marcus, is this from a dream? I'm guessing that it's from a dream. What about, so I'm going to get back to you once you answer. Okay. Okay, let me just keep on going to your. In addition, she looked ill and in the anorexic. Is that significant? Unwell in the dream. So if she was like anorexic or look really frail, that can mean that she might be weak. So it can mean that she might actually be like, not well in real life. Like she might be actually not well. And then it could also mean that she might be weak in a certain area and she might need help. I have seen people like be looking like ill, and it didn't necessarily represent that they were like ill in real life. It just represented that they needed like you know they needed some type of help. And you said that she said that she wasn't married when you asked her where her husband was, and she introduced you to her daughter. Okay, since she was anorexic, normally anorexic people have problems with eating, and bulimic people, they might eat but they might throw it right out. Um, and anorexia normally happens from what you think in your mind. Like you have this image in your head and you think that you look a certain way but you don't. So you have body issues, and it's another word that I'm thinking about, but I can't. It's not coming to my mind. But you have body issues. So you're thinking that you look one way, that you look bad, but you really look, you look fine, and then that causes you to, since you think that you may look fat, an anorexic person in real life might think that they look fat, but they really aren't, and then they start starving themselves, and they lose all this weight over time, and they are anorexic. So anorexic is not just being really small, skinny, frail. It's also a mindset thing too. So you just lose that. I mean, you just become very slim because of this thought process, thinking that you have too much weight on you, or that you eating too much, or you need to be so small in order to, for whatever reason. And yeah, so it's a mental thing, and it's also because of the mental thing, it causes your body to be really frail and slim. I mean, overly slim, right? So if it was symbolic, then her being anorexic would mean that she's not partaking of the word, because in a good sense, when you see um, eating, that can represent what you intake. And a lot of times what you intake could, if it's good, you want to intake the word, and intake good things, positivity. So it seems like she's intaking things. If it's symbolic, it seems like she will be intaking things that are not of God, things that are not good for her, negative thoughts, thinking bad about herself, and also not eating of the word. So I'm not sure if this is a person that you would be interested in, but she would need to grow. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing, because sometimes God can use people to help people while they're in a situation like that. But definitely pray to God and for God to lead you in that, and for you know for God to lead you, and if you do see yourself in that situation in real life, and for God to help her, direct her in her life, and to get closer to Him, and to help her thinking, for her to see who she truly is. Um, what about dreams that just remember parts? So, when you have dreams and you only remember part of it, you don't remember all of it, then you want to like try to practice a little bit. Like as soon as you wake up, don't jump out of bed. Lay in bed for a few minutes and write it down. Write down your dream. You want to do like dream recall. So you want to just lay. I would just lay in bed Um, I'm just going to answer the last ones and then I got to leave off. But I would just, for me to remember all my dreams, I would just lay in bed and just replay the whole dream in my head and just keep on replaying it and try like the things that I noticed that was like really significant to me. Like I really felt something behind it, or it was really strange or something like that. I'll just keep on replaying that, and that's how I remember my dreams. And of course, writing it down right afterwards. And then you might not remember the whole thing as soon as you start doing this, but over time you should start seeing improvements and remembering your dreams. Um, okay, I had a dream that my best friend had given me a bouquet of white roses, and I smelled them, then took one of the roses and tried to blow it, and it sparkled. Um, so white is normally good. It normally represents things of God or the Holy Spirit, and then sometimes bouquets can represent marriage. And normally, well, a woman could walk down the aisle with any type of color bouquet, but that could represent marriage too. But I'm not sure why you took one to try to blow it and it sparkled. I'm not sure about that part. Because normally you would try to blow a dandelion. So maybe you might want to research dandelions to see everything, the characteristics about dandelions, and why people blow dandelions. Because I remember when I was a kid, I used to love blowing dandelions. That's what it reminded me of when you say that you try to blow it. Um, is there anything you notice that causes you to dream more? Um, no. I mean, well, I guess sometimes, like, if I spend more time with God, just being more intentional, I might dream more, and I might dream more prophetically when I do stuff like that. Um, and also, watching a lot of TV can make you dream more too. Only thing is, your dreams wouldn't be prophetic. It was just you having like weird dreams. So stuff like that can make you drink more. Either watching too much TV or overthinking can make you dream more. And also, if you spend time with God, more and more time with God, you could dream more, and that'll be good. You normally will have good dreams or prophetic dreams. Um, so you guys, I'm about to get off. I'll see you in the next live stream next week. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I pray that you have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.